Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. The other day, I was teaching seniors at our senior center how to make these really cool loopy type necklaces out of just regular wire. And I thought, you know what? I think I'm gonna show everybody on my channel how to do them. So stay tuned. So here's the necklace that I was making as I was teaching the class. And basically what we did is we used 20 gauge wire, and we took a pin and just wrapped the wire around the pin and hung dangles off of them. Now I went home and added a chain. Most of the ladies, I don't know if you noticed in those photos that I had, they put some type of leather cording on it, so they used like a crimping type finding to do that. But this is what we're going to make. As I said before, I used 20 gauge wire, but I think I'm going to try to use an 18 gauge wire. Now to do all these loops, which are, let's see, we've got the 2 loops that connect your chain, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. We used a 10-inch wire. I've cut 10 inches. And I'm really not for sure. I may only do 3 loops, or I might do 5. I don't know. I haven't decided. I've seen these done with 3 loops, and they look pretty good. And then I'm going to get just a regular pin and start wrapping your pin with the wire. Like so. Okay, once you have your wire all looped around, you're going to take your pin out and you're going to start pulling. And you're going to need some of your pliers, so you might as well get those out. I got wire cutters, round nose pliers, some regular pliers. I'm just going to take my regular pliers and I'm going to start pulling very slowly and carefully. All right, so once I get it out, I'm actually going to start forming my loops. And I have to say, this is a lot tougher than that 20 gauge wire, just FYI. And as you pull it out, see how I've flattened that a little bit? I'm going to flatten the next one. And then the next one. And then the next one. Just keep at it. Now, you don't want to pull them out too much. I know some of the ladies had pulled them out quite a bit, and so their loops were like way far apart. Now, if that's the look you want, then go for it. I don't really want that, and I'm going to have a lot more loops here than I need. Let's see, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 loops, which, you know what? If you wanted 7 loops, you could do 7 loops. But like I said, I want either 3 loops or 5 loops. Like I said, this 18 gauge wire is a lot harder to work with than the 20 gauge. And this is where you might take your round nose pliers and kind of form the shape you want. And just keep messing around with it until you get the look you want. Now, since I have 7 loops here, more than likely, these 2 end loops are going to be the loops that I attach my chain to, which will leave me 5 loops. So maybe I'll just go ahead and go with the 5 loops. I will determine that as soon as I get the look I want. And also, see how I'm curving it, I'm shaping it and curving it. you don't want it to be straight across. Well, you might. If you want it to be straight across, again, that's up to you. I don't want mine straight across. I want mine curved. See how this one's curved? Okay, I'm going to keep messing with this until I get what I want. Now remember, with wire, you don't want to bend and bend and bend because eventually you're going to break your wire. So just be very careful and just kind of slowly form your wire, not bend your wire, but form it into the shape you want it. All right, so we are going with a 5 looper here. And I went ahead and took the 6th and 7th loop out, and I'm going to go back and probably make a wrapped loop. But right now, I've got this how I want it. So I'm going to get my little block here, and I'm going to start hammering away. So I just hammered it ever so slightly just to kind of harden it up a little bit. So now what I need to do is I need to make my loops. And I want to make sure that I have them even. So I'm just going to go down here, and I'm going about 1/2 inch. And just wire. I am going to go ahead and wrap my loop. Let's see, how far down do I want that? Maybe one more loop around. Yeah, I think that's about where I want it. So I'm going to clip that off. Woo! Hang on to that wire. And then I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze that in so that when I'm wearing it, it's not going to scratch my neck all up. I'm going to do this in now. All right, I have it how I want it. Notice I got my loops facing out. If you want them facing in, you can do that. I got mine facing out. And now we need to hang our dangles. And I've been playing around a little bit with some dangles. The Curated Bead Box for November had these gorgeous beads in them. And I really would like to use those. And I kind of wish they would have had some turquoise in there. I think turquoise would have looked really nice with that box. But you know what? I have some turquoise he-she here. So I might use some of those. I was thinking of maybe using some bead caps. I'm not for sure I'm going to use these or maybe some silver. So we may be mixing our metals. I haven't decided yet. And then another thing, it's like, wouldn't this be fun hanging down like that? Or maybe this one. If I did that though, I can't really hang anything off of these. Even with this one, which is fine. That can be just a design element. And then I can hang a couple of things here, like I've already have some things already just wired up. See, if I hung this up, you wouldn't be able to see. It kind of covers up that a little bit. They're too close. But if I popped over here, that would look nice. Or I could do something maybe like this in the middle. And then maybe hang these down. I don't know. I'm going to play with this a little bit and try to decide what I want to do. I really like this pendant here. So we may be going with that. I could do, here's another one. Maybe I'll put that in the middle and do another one of these. Put these on the side. Or maybe I could, let's see, I think I have to use these little seed beads here on these. I could do this. I'd have to do it on I'd have to make a link. Oh, that would be pretty. Maybe I'll do that. All right. Well, let me play around and we'll come back with my decision. So I think I've decided just to go for the big one and do them all. I can always take it off if I don't like it. So in order to do that, let me move all these over. I need to wire this onto a link. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm using 20 gauge wire to do this. The 18 gauge is just going to be too much, too thick to work with. Well, here we go. And I am mixing my metals. I really like these bead caps. Whoops. Here we go. And I'm going to make this loop a little on the larger side because I do want some movement in this. That around, get it all squashed down there. Clip it off, hang on to that wire, and tuck it in. We tuck these wires in because if you don't, they could scratch your neck or clothing, and you don't want that. And once you think you got it all tucked in, let's go back and feel around. I still kind of feel a little bit there. Okay. See how that's going to look. And again, I'm going to be connecting this, let me think. I wasn't going to be using jump rings, but it looks like I'm going to have to use jump rings. So I want this to be a smaller loop. Just that loop a little bit. I don't feel the end. Must have gotten tucked in there pretty good. Okay, so since I am going to be using a jump ring, I'm probably going to need the loop that way. All right. So this is going to hang in the middle. And I'm not going to do any wrap loops on these. I'm just going to do simple loops. And that way I won't need to use a jump ring on these, so that'll be good. Woo! Those are some tough head pins. They must be stainless. I wonder if they're stainless, huh? Ooh, that was a bad loop. Part of the problem is I don't have my glasses on. Let me go get my glasses. All right, so I got my glasses. Now I can see better. I went ahead and got a little tiny jump ring here. And we're going to go ahead and put that middle charm on. Close it up. Oh yeah. That would look just nice just like that. Okay. Let me go ahead and stick this one on. Whoops. All right. That one's not the best loop, but we will move on, and if it bugs me, I can always redo it. This is going to be pretty, though. Let's see, let me get this to lay correctly. And this one's next. One thing about these beads, you don't really have to worry about if they're going the right direction. I may have to get another head pin. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't like that. Those, for some reason, the beads are not going down on that head pin. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now. I'll have to switch out. Don't think the other ones are doing that. Every once in a while, you may have a faulty head pin or a faulty other finding. You just have to kind of keep an eye on that and get another one. That's why, like the lobster claw clasps, that's why I always make sure and check them before I know I'm done. All right, now all we need is a chain. Oh yeah, I like that. Now bringing this down further allowed me to be able to use this really pretty dangle. I'm going to replace this. So let me fix that and go get some chain and finish this off. Now before I add the chain, I had a thought. I made another link and added, and then I'm going to add the chain. So I took my 20 gauge wire and put a turquoise bead. And you know, you don't have to use the same beads I use. You could use pink and green if you wanted to, or whatever. Which would be the same necklace, but it would be totally different. All right, so what I did is I put my beads on how I wanted them. I'm going to start making my loop here. And then put the necklace on. So I'm not using any jump rings. Let's see, sometimes you have to open that up a little bit. Okay. There we go. It just did not want to go on there. Okay. So then you wrap your loop. You could do it messy or you could do it neat, however you want. I did these a little bit neater than I normally do. Make sure they're pretty much even there. I'm going to go around a little bit more here. There we go. Clip and tuck. Now that definitely needs to be tucked. Feed all your beads down and do another loop. You want to try to match them as much as you can. And I'm going to have to attach my chain or whatever I'm going to use with jump rings. Okay, now, here we go. Well, let me go see what kind of chain I'm going to put on here. Okay, lay down. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So I'm using stainless steel chain, which means you need to use your memory cutters to do some cutting. And I've got these really tiny 4mm jump rings that I'm going to use to put on. And I'm going to make this longer, and I'm not going to put a clasp on it. I'll just be able to put it over my head. So open up the jump ring. Sorry, I probably got out of frame there. Ugh, I hate when I do that. A lot of it has to do with being able to see. All right. But you need to be able to see too. Ugh. Okay, I'm sorry. Ooh, this is going to be really pretty. Let me get this to lay down. Put this up. All right. This is how I did it. Find the opening. By the way, these are really handy. I don't know what they're called, but jump ring opener. Jump ring opener ring. Oh, one thing too. When you do this, you want to make sure that since you don't have a clasp, you don't want your chain to be all twisted. Okay. And boom. We're done. Isn't that pretty? I love turquoise and red together. This gives the idea of coral. It's not. It's just glass beads, but it sure looks like coral there. And these are actually not real turquoise. They are howlite. So they are a real stone. This right here is just a synthetic. It's plastic basically, but it's a good high quality. So let's see if I can get these to lay right. There we go. Well, tell me what you think of this swirly necklace. They're really pretty easy to do. I made this one a little bit more complicated than the one we did at the Senior Center. Those ladies are very much beginners. Some of them are pretty advanced. They have made quite a bit of jewelry. But we do have some in there that are just beginning. In fact, the other day we had a lady who came for the first time, and she did a really good job. I'm really amazed on how good these ladies can make their jewelry look. But for my channel, I just wanted to step it up a little bit. I hope you try it and let me know if you did and how it went. Thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.